Holy crap, the First Descendant devs must be crazy. So over the last several hours, they've put out a bunch of posts on Twitter letting us know what is coming, what they're working on, and these are major buffs to the game. You're gonna wanna see this. Let's find out why.
Tux makes it exciting!
So these devs, I gotta say, they must be the best devs in the entire gaming community right now, at least in this moment, and I hope they stay strong with this pattern because it's really refreshing to see some devs listening to the community, but not just listening, responding, and then responding in a timely manner. That's what we got going on here. So we got several things to address. Now, we have patch notes, but I'm gonna cover that separately. This is a different topic. These are major coming game updates. At this moment, now I haven't looked at all of the patch notes yet. It's possible that we will see some actual dates on these things, but I don't have actual dates for you at this very second. But what I do have for you are some amazing things for you to look forward to. This is gonna make you happy. You're gonna wanna listen up. Let's start with the first one.
Let's do this!
So this was just posted a few hours ago on Twitter. It says drop rate improvement plans. Okay, so while all of our drop rate systems are operating fairly in the First Descendant, we do understand that some players are struggling with the various drop rates, I think vagaries of drop rate. To address this, we're planning to introduce a guaranteed drop system where you're guaranteed to get the item you want after repeating the activity a certain number of times. So this is what many refer to as a pity system. And actually, a lot of people have been requesting this. There have been Reddit threads on this subject, in fact. So let's go on. They say the First Descendant has various missions and amorphous materials with chance-dependent rewards. So a lot of these materials, sometimes we refer to these as patterns, come with like a 20% drop rate. And I gotta tell you, a 20% drop rate is huge. That's really high. And it feels sort of crazy, and I think this is what the community is complaining about. It feels crazy when you have something with a 20% drop rate on a mission, and you do that mission, and it doesn't drop. You're like, okay, fine, so I'll do it again, and it doesn't drop. And you're like, okay, fine, I'll do it again, and it doesn't drop. And then 10 runs later, it still hasn't dropped. A 20% drop chance, that's huge. Now, I get that sometimes we're just really unlucky. RNG is a pain in the ass. Fine. And here's an example on why that feels so unfair. Is that, so sometimes you go into a Colossus and then you beat it and then you got a pattern and you're shooting for something, let's just say at 20%. Maybe you're going for the Catalyst, right? But there's also something else like an ultimate weapon pattern that has a 32% to drop, which is really high also. So fine. And you roll the dice and you get the 32% thing and you're like, oh shoot, well, I wanted a Catalyst at 20%. I got this, it's got a higher percentage, you know, so better chances that I got that item. And then you do it again, right? You go back in, fight the same boss, and you crack open that pattern, and what do you get? The same item that has 32% chance. So we're like, wow, well, not too weird. 32% chance is strong, so okay, crazy. And then you do it again, and what do you get? The same exact thing at 32% chance. So now you got it 3 times in a row. Now it's like, whoa, this is beyond luck at this stage, right? It starts to get to a point where it just can't be that good, right? 32% chance. That's a guarantee. But why isn't the 20% guaranteed on those missions? It should practically be a guarantee. If the 32% chance is a guarantee, and it's not the only thing with the 32% chance, it's weird, right? So in this Colossus fights, there's usually 2 things with a 32% chance, and you keep getting the same one over and over again. It just doesn't feel right. The devs are saying, well, on paper, our system is right, but we understand the frustration, so let's see what we can do to remedy this because we want the community to be happy. It's the experience. So let's read on. So we're considering how we can effectively implement the guaranteed drop in such diverse reward systems. And they go on to say, and we're working to create a farming structure that players will be happy with. We hope to make improvements before long to provide a more rational and satisfying farming experience. Look forward to this. We don't have a drop date, but unless something like super game-breaking hits with this release, I would imagine the next coming patch, we're gonna see this. And I, for one, am super stoked, but more than what they're addressing here, it's the fact that they're addressing the community's concerns altogether. Okay, I'm not done. We have more. Let's see what else they got hidden up their sleeves.
Let's do this!
So these are from a barrage of tweets that they put out, all pretty much back to back. Okay, so field improvements. So increase the amount of void shards that can be acquired from special operations by about 7 times. Now, if you're not familiar with what special operations are, those are usually like those defense mode, wave, horde control missions that we do. They are what's being considered as the ultimate endgame mode for the First Descendant, even more than the Colossus fights. So they're supposed to be very repeatable, and so because of that, they should also be very rewarding. So basically, you get these rewards depending on how many waves that you complete. And then that chunk of reward is delivered, and then you have the option to back out or continue for even more rewards. And along the way are consumable rewards being dropped. You get shards, you get Kuiper, you get gold, all of that stuff is dropping. Let me just give it to you straight up, guys. The special operations, from my perspective, you should not be missing out. Now, my favorite one is the Echo Swamp. It's really good. It's not too easy, it's not too hard, but more importantly, it progresses nicely. For where I'm at, the Echo Swamp is extremely engaging. I love it. It feels really good, and it feels so rewarding. So maybe there's those other farms that are performing really well, but they're also really boring. Like for me, it's just not super fun to stand there, stare at a wall, and tuck and roll into it for 4 hours a day so that I can level up my weapon. I'd rather get out there and fight. Even if it's a couple of minutes slower, it's still more engaging, and I'm getting a more diverse array of rewards. So you're getting the possible 1 million drop things, and I've gotten those, and those feel really good. And you're also getting patterns. And just so you know, I just opened up a few of those patterns that I got from special operations that I was doing just over the last couple of days, and I got 2 catalysts from that. So in other words, what I'm telling you is that the special operations are paying me catalysts, and they're not ultimate patterns that it gives. The Echo Swamp one doesn't give you ultimate patterns, at least not in the early phases. You get the standard patterns, the rare ones. And so I went and fought the Dead Bride, which you can do solo in the end game. And, you know, I would defeat her in like 3 minutes or less, you know, a minute. And I got to crack open these patterns that I earned from special operations. So if you're going in and doing the bunny stare at the wall and tuck and roll thing, that's great. You're leveling up and you're getting some shards, which is definitely useful, but you're not getting catalysts. And the special operations don't guarantee catalysts, but you're getting so many of them, odds are you're gonna get a couple. Okay, so that's my soapbox speech on that, but this is what they're doing. So they're buffing the special operations by about 7 times. They have more field improvements, that's not all. So the Agna Desert, Vespers, Echo Swamp, White Knight, Hagios, and Fortress Fields, so the open world, now have a 100% chance to spawn encrypted vaults when you spawn. So sometimes they're not there, right? You'll go into an area and you'll ping around and you'll run around and be like, oh, there's not one there. So you have to fast travel out and then fast travel back in, and then it's there. So they're taking that part out of it so that it's a guarantee that you're going to come across one. So from there, you just need code breakers and you need to crack it. Enzo is great for that. Increase the hit box size in data collection missions to make it easier to collect data. So that's the one where you run around and pick up those things and then drop them off in a box. It's kind of annoying because you basically have to stand straight on top of those things to be able to pick them up to get the interaction notice. So they're just making that quality of life improvement. So that's good.
Let's do this!
Okay, there's more. We're not done. Hang with me. So disposing of leftover items. Big, huge, gigantic topic. You might not realize this in the very beginning, but once you get into endgame, past level 100, this becomes a serious issue. It is for me. With the amount of blueprints I got, for example, I can craft 13 Lepics, 16 Kyles, 200 Smithereens. whatever. You just keep getting these duplicates, but then what? Once you have that item, then what? Well, with some things like weapons, you can craft 4 of them and then smash them together so that they become more powerful. But with Descendants, then what? Okay, so disposing of leftover items. So they're saying here, next is an update on items that are piling up in your consumables. Yep, that's me raising my hand. There is currently no way to dispose of blueprints for Descendants and weapons that you've already completed. So there are cases where players are getting multiple copies of blueprints they already own during the farming process. Yup, I have that problem. So we've been listening to the community who have told us that there needs to be a way to dispose of these unwanted items. I agree. So they say here, while we could consider simply converting them into some gold or Kuiper, we want to reward you with more value for the time you have put into the game. Fine, but gold is pretty valuable, but I wonder if it's always going to be an issue. We'll see. Anyways, they go on to say, to resolve this, the dev team is planning a system to dismantle leftover items to get byproducts, and a rotating shop system where you can exchange these byproducts for something of value. So that's basically another form of currency. But what I think they're saying is that byproducts are those things that you need, like the neural circuits and coils to craft catalysts and activators. So I think they're saying that you can deconstruct it for that, but in case you get a surplus of those, you can also spend that surplus at a shop. I think that's what they're saying. Anyways, they're saying this will allow the items you obtain to have a greater value in the game. So that's really, really cool. So at least they're not just gonna sit there stacking up and be a disappointment for us. More importantly, when we get duplicates, instead of getting the thing that we're looking for, it'll be less painful for us. What do you think about that? Okay, there's also a shop update that they posted here. So added new Descendant exclusive Luna bundle, which includes a Luna and the pool party skin. Added Luna to the list of standard Descendants in the shop. They added a premium Ultimate Balbi bundle, which includes Ultimate Balbi and the Vermilion Wave Skin and Ultimate Balbi bundle. Added Balbi's summer theme, VS's summer theme, and male summer theme set. Luna's Albion Academy Cadet, Luna's Classic Maid uniform, Luna's Panda, and Luna's Dinosaur limited skins. Added Luna's Augmented Reality of Madness premium skin package. Added Luna's exclusive White Mouse premium head skin. Ooh, that sounds fun. Added Luna's exclusive hair and makeup. Added Luna's The Ultimate High Filling and Volume Up standard skins. Added Luna's Makeup Sly. Added Adjustment Control Axis X30 and Fine Adjustment Control Axis 20 support items. I don't know what that is. Adjustment Control Axis 30 support items. Huh. Do you know what that is? I can't go into the game to check it because servers are down. But anyways, huge news. Are you happy? What else would you want to see from these devs? Let us know. These guys are listening to our feedback. So this is your chance. Thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Tuxedo Bandido. That's Tito Bandido.
One and only.
And this was another episode of The First Descendant. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The First Descendant. And if you like videos like this, check out the one I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy or download anything for The First Descendant, be sure to use Tux's creator code to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.
I get it.